Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative, where we get high in conversation and discuss many topics from personal to community to anything that's going on in the world. So sit back, get cozy, and let me talk to you. Let's go. Hey y'all, what's up? It's another episode of Highly Talkative Podcast, your favorite podcast. It's your girl, A. Millie. Today is Monday, the 23rd. Today was a good week. This week was a good week. I got a lot of stuff accomplished. I had a lot of stuff on my schedule for this week. I had a lot of appointments. I had a lot of errands to run. I had my baby shower this weekend that we'll talk about in a little bit. Had basketball games. It was just a lot for your girl, but I love long, busy weeks. Well, not even long. I just love busy weeks because they help me really get through this pregnancy. I feel like the more I have to do during the week, the quicker this pregnancy goes. And y'all, your girl has about a week and a half left. Got through my baby shower. I'm about to put all of my gifts up here shortly. And then my girl is free to come whenever she wants. I'm waiting on a dresser to get here that I ordered from Walmart. Got a bassinet, thankfully. I have her stroller. I have her swing set. So we're really in the swing of things. She can literally come at any time now. This week was a really good week for me because let's start with my mom. I had been feeling her presence literally everywhere this week. And when I say everywhere, I legitimately mean everywhere. And it was just a good feeling to have, showing me signs of things that I really didn't know that I needed to see or have, but she provided those to me, and it just felt really good. Like, I even spoke to my therapist about it during our session this week, and she just kind of confirmed what I was saying and how I was feeling. So let's start there. I really want to start there. Okay, so with my mom, right? I'm pretty sure you guys can kind of tell, if not, like, I'm a very, very spiritual person. And I believe when I see cardinals or butterflies, it's a spirit coming back and blessing me with peace of mind or confirmation of something, especially because I've been saying my angel numbers and other angel numbers a lot. So this week I've seen so many cardinals, and especially after like situations that I've been through or certain things that I was thinking about. I'd think about it, I'd process it a little bit, and then literally not even 10-15 minutes later, I would see a cardinal. I want to say it was like Tuesday morning. I was just like in real deep thought about something about my mom and like where I am in life and where I really want to be and the things that are changing and how I'm hoping for the best and manifesting everything, but also working towards what I'm manifesting. I go take my son to school and I'm driving down the street and there's a red cardinal that just flies right in front of my front window shield into a tree. And I get super excited because I'm like, okay, yes, like you're there. You're really getting there. Um Same day I go and I'm about to take my oldest to school, and I'm in my living room while he's getting dressed, and I'm sitting on my medicine ball and I'm listening to music, and I'm really just thinking how blessed I am, even with the situations that I have going on and like where everything is kind of falling into place. Like, I'm very thankful, and I want to make sure that I'm making my mom proud. And, all these other thought processes that I'm going through when it comes to, I guess you can necessarily say, like a sense of grief and relief and stability and growing and all these other things, right? So I'm in this really deep thought process as I'm listening. I'm listening to music. I think I have the playlist on my mom's playlist. I had made two playlists on my phone, one for my mom, one for my dad. And I'm listening to it. I'm going through this thought process. And then as soon as I like literally as soon as I get done thinking about things and just like giving thanks and really reminiscing on my mom and how, she was and how she raised me and just hoping I'm making her proud. As soon as I get done thinking about that, one of her favorite songs off of the playlist come on by Bruno Mars, and it was just like a sense of relief. Like I literally just stopped and smiled and was so happy and at peace because it was like I felt her coming through that speaker and just speaking to me, telling me like, I hear me, I'm proud of you. All the things that you're thinking, all the things that you're going through, it's not going to be forever. Just continue to do what you're doing, what I've taught you to do, how I taught you to be a strong and independent and amazing young woman, right? So I'm literally just sitting there in awe. Same day, I'm then taking my oldest son to school, and I pull my truck out of the garage. We're sitting in the driveway. I'm letting the car warm up for a little bit. And my son gets super excited because he sees a cardinal in a tree. And he's like, Mom, look, 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 there's a cardinal. I'm looking, and I see it. And that was just a sign for me that my mom was looking over him and looking over us. And the thought process that I had about my kids was going through my head. And she's just solidifying, like, I'm here. I see you. I see him. I got y'all. Right? Boom. I'm thinking that, and I'm like, okay, yes, like this is about to be a really good week. And then boom, here comes another cardinal that just flies right past and then straight into the tree behind the one that my son sees his cardinal in. And I'm literally just sitting there in awe because I'm like, all these signs that are coming through. Yes, like, yes. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, I have like those, you know, natural thought processes where I'm just I second guess myself. I guess in a sense, like I feel like I'm thinking too positively and I have to like retract myself. But then the universe shows me like there is never a such thing. Like you have to stand firm in everything that you think and everything that you believe and everything that you manifest and know that it's going to be fruitful and come about, right? So I'm really just like, yes, yes, I'm loving this. And then the next day, I'm in Starbucks and I'm supposed to have a call with someone. And they reschedule the call. So I decide to just sit in Starbucks anyway and get a little bit of work done. Right. And I'm just like, out of all places, like, this happens in Starbucks. Like, who, whatever. So I'm sitting in Starbucks. I'm, doing my own daily work, doing my journaling, my affirmations, checking my planner before I have to go to my doctor's appointment since that call didn't go through. And I'm literally like writing things down and I'm in my thoughts. And then Build Me Up Buttercup by the Foundations come on. And that is one of my mom's like favorite songs. So I'm literally just sitting in Starbucks and I lift my head up and I'm just smiling because again, I felt the presence of my mom. Like every time I'm thinking about something really deeply or manifesting something or just anything like that, and something like this happens, I literally see it as a sign that the universe is showing me to continue down the path that I'm on. Everything is going to be fine. I just have to continue to do the work, right? And that's the hardest part. The hardest part is literally doing the work. So I want to continue to do that. So that's kind of like the gist of where my week started. Um, it kind of put a lot of things into perspective for me. I really had to embrace it all and then kind of just like settle with it and figure out what was the next move from there. Um, yeah, so that was a really good feeling. And even for my son to experience like some of that feeling too, it really just, I don't know, it makes my heart feel so warm and loving and just happy. Okay, so we're gonna get off that. But again, shout out to my mom. Love my mom so much. Her passing was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, but I think I handled it so well, especially with all the things that had been thrown at me ever since she had passed. I felt like I prevailed in so many ways, and if nobody sees my growth, I definitely see my growth, and I'm grateful for that. Boom. Okay, so let's move from that, right, guys? Um, I know I was telling y'all about The Burbs last week with Kiki Palmer, and it's a series that's on Peacock, right? Well, how about I didn't know that there was an actual movie called The Burbs that I'm assuming that the series is based off of, but this movie is like old. I didn't even get what year it came out in, but it had like the younger version of Tom Hanks in it. And it's kind of like a comedy slash horror. And I guess that's kind of like how the present Burbs is. It's like comedy and horror. But the comedy from the Burbs, the movies from, I guess, the original, it's more like old school. I don't know how to explain it, but it was kind of funny. I didn't get to finish it because it didn't really catch my attention the way the newer version of the Burbs did on Peacock. But I kind of do want to go back and like finish watching it just to see the similarities and like the differences between the movie and the series. But I was shocked when I was on, I want to say I was on Peacock maybe, scrolling to see like if there was something else I could watch. And I came across that and I was like, what the hell? But yeah, so that's a little fact that I didn't know. So like I said, I might go back and finish watching it. I might not. But another show that I've also been watching, and I've watched the first season before, which is Cross on Amazon Prime. I watched the first season before. They have a second season out, but because the second season is out and I don't really remember how the first season went, I'm going back now. Like I'm literally kind of watching it right now as I'm doing this podcast, catching up on it so I can start season two and be more refreshed as to like where I am. Now, let me give y'all a little side note. It is 6:25 in the morning right now. I've been up since about 3 o'clock in the morning. I literally just popped up because I could not remember if my kid let the dogs back in from outside last night. And my dogs will dig a hole under my fence and get the fuck out. At this point, I think they want to be homeless. But I literally popped up because I'm thinking, like, oh my God, did he leave my dogs outside? So I pop up, I run downstairs, I check on the dogs. They're there in their cage, and now I've just been up. So after I record this podcast, I'm probably going to take me a nice hot shower, put baby girl stuff up, and then I have a hair appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning that I need to get to. Um, and that was a little sidetrack note. But adding to that, I was listening to, I like to listen to my own podcast every now, not even every now and then. I'll edit them, I'll post them, and then I like to listen to them. Mainly to help get my, streams up. I don't think that that's a bad idea, but also because I want to know what it sounds like when you guys hear me too on all these different platforms and how like the advertising goes and all of that. But nonetheless, I'm in the car with my kids and I'm just listening to the podcast for me. I'm not even thinking that they're really paying attention to the podcast for the simple fact that they're both in their phones. I know for a fact that my oldest just does not like podcasts, especially because he has like ADHD. So it's just hard for him to focus on anybody just talking. And my youngest, I don't know. I know he pays attention, but I'm not expecting him to pay attention, right? So we're in the car, I'm listening to my podcast. I don't have it up like extremely loud because I don't want them to be like too much into it. Not in a bad way, but I just didn't want to interrupt what they were doing. Um, so I'm listening to it, and then as I'm listening to it, my son, my youngest son, just starts asking me questions about the podcast. And I'm like, oh, you're actually listening to it. And he was like, yeah, so who are you talking about? And I'm telling him who I'm talking about. And he's like, oh, okay, okay. And then we're continuing on or whatever. And it gets to like another part of the podcast where I think I'm kind of talking about like peace within my home and, how I don't want to allow anything, anyone, none of the above to affect the peace that I've incorporated into our home, right? And then my oldest son starts asking me questions about that. And then I'm answering them. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are literally listening to the podcast. Like, y'all are actually listening and comprehending what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think it's hard to comprehend what I'm saying because I literally speak as if I'm in my head like a child. I don't use like super big words or anything like that because I just want people to really resonate with me because this is like a real life podcast. This isn't something I'm doing for show. This is something I'm doing because I love to do it. You guys are like my open diary to an extent. Like I share my life with y'all to an extent, right? I'm not like journaling and telling y'all what I journal, but in an aspect, like I'm sharing with y'all some of my most intimate and vulnerable and all of those moments. Um, so I'm talking to my oldest son about it and everything, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't think that you were really listening. And he was like, no, I was. And he was like, I don't really like podcasts like that, but I like to listen to yours. And it just felt really good because I'm like, look at my kids really supporting me and being there for me and really listening to what I'm saying. And then in return, it made me think, do I need to start watching what I say? Because I don't want them to hear the wrong thing or anything like that and then take it the wrong way and then it caused like some type of friction. But we're coming to this point in life where my oldest son actually is learning to speak up for himself and his feelings and all of the above. So maybe this is also like another way for us to have an open line of communication to where if I do say something on this podcast that I accidentally didn't mean to say or hurt his feelings or meant it in a way, but also still didn't mean to hurt his feelings, if he hears it, he can come to me and express how he felt about it and we can talk about it and then, see where we go from there. I mean, let's be real. We had a moment like this, honestly, this past week. Him and his little brother were getting on my nerves. They were bickering and stuff like that. And I made a comment or whatever, and it really hurt my oldest's feelings from the comment that I made. Um, so he goes upstairs, he comes back down. I see something is wrong with him. I can see it in his face. So I'm asking him, like, okay, what's wrong with you? I can see it all in your face. There's something wrong with you. What's wrong? And then he's like starting to stumble over his words because he's trying to express himself. But in my head, he's nervous because he doesn't know how I'm going to take him explaining or expressing how he's really feeling. So I'm telling him, okay, like calm down. I'm asking you because I really want to know, not because I want to fuss at you or make you feel any worse than what I'm what I'm seeing how you feel. So he explains to me that what I said really hurt his feelings and it makes him feel like a certain type of way and so on and so forth. So then I break down why I said what I said, but then I also apologize because I didn't mean to make him feel that way. Um, I can see like it's really touching him because he's starting to tear. Like he doesn't cry, but he's light skinned. He's like really golden. He's so sun kissed. I love his complexion, but when he's like upset or anything like that, you can see it. Like he turns red in the face. His eyes are all red. They're starting to water, and it's like he doesn't want the tears to fall. So he's really trying to like sit there like I'm that nigga. Like, yeah, I'm sad, but I'm not about to let you see that I'm sad. So I'm talking to him, I'm expressing it to him, and we're having this conversation. And then when we get done with the conversation, I ask him how he feels at the end. He tells me. Then he eats his snack. He goes upstairs for a little bit. And maybe like 30, 45 minutes later, he comes back down and he's ready to have a family night. Like he's asking me if we can karaoke and he just wants to spend time as a family. So we do that. Like I tell him, yeah, give me a second. Let me finish doing what I'm doing. And then, go get the speaker, plug up the microphone, get the iPad. Let's get to it. And we literally karaokeed for maybe like 30 minutes. Each one of us did three, maybe four songs. And it was a good night. Like we ended the night on a good note. And that just warms my mama heart because I even wrote this down, but it was like, I love the fact that he can really express himself and then take the time that he needs to digest his feelings and what we discussed and come back either better than before or still wanting to talk about things to get clarity. So I love that for us. And I love that that's the journey and the path that we're going down. And I just manifest and pray that it continues to stay that way because that's just going to build a really good relationship for he and I both. And also teach him to just learn to express himself, no matter who it is or how you feel. Learn to use your words to express yourself and not your hands or anything like that. So that was just a really good feeling to have. And he's so sweet and he's so loving, to the point where my baby shower was on Saturday, this past Saturday. And before I leave the house, he's telling me I look so beautiful and all of this. And then he just like randomly goes, "Can I pray? Can I pray for us really quickly?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, go ahead. Do your big one." And then he's like puts out this prayer, and I'm just looking at him like, "Who's raising you? I'm so proud of you." Like, I'm smiling and my heart is warm and happy, because who does stuff like that, right? My child. And I'm loving it, and I'm blessed to be in the space that I'm in, and I'm blessed to be able to create the space that he's in, where he feels safe and loved and all of the above, right? So go me. That's a shout out to me. That's a shout out to him. That's a shout out to everything around us, because we are doing the work that needs to be done to get to where I see us in the future. Our future is bright, it's resilient, and I just want to continue to do that work to get us there. Boom. I registered for spring. I, I registered for spring classes. Right, Jackson State University. The love. Let's like. I'm trying to get it done, but I'm really thinking to myself, is this smart? Right? I know I want to finish this degree plan. I know I want to get my degree. I know I'm going to graduate, but I'm really like, is it really smart for you to register for the last set of spring classes and you are about to give birth? You're about to have a whole ass newborn, on top of working, on top of doing your self work, on top of every on top of everything else that you have going on. Is this going to be too much? And the answer to myself is I really don't know, because I'm always the type of person to prevail through things. I might have too much on my plate, but I always find a way to get it done, right? But I'm also saying to myself, is this something that might add to the postpartum? I don't have it. I don't want to have it, but these are risk factors, right? And I've learned risk factors because I'm in therapy, and this is something that we discussed. Like, me and my therapist even came up with a postpartum plan for after giving birth, and like what I'm expecting when it comes to support, so on and so forth. But I'm like, is this like a risk factor that I'm adding to the possibility of falling into like a depression or anything like that, because I'm just putting too much on my plate, trying to do too much because of where I want to be at in life, right? So this is just something that I might also have to talk to my therapist about, or maybe my dad or somebody, to see like, is this the right move? I know nobody can give me a definite answer for myself, due to the fact that this is something I'm doing for me, right? But getting that advice, maybe hearing a different perspective from somebody else or from my therapist, will really help me put into perception how I really want to go about this, because I still have the fall, right? I can literally take this time from the time I have baby girl up until August, which is when fall classes begin, to really settle myself and get prepared for those classes instead of jumping right into it, which, like I said, I think might, be a risk factor, but who really knows? I won't know until it happens. Um, so that's just like another thing I've kind of been sitting with. Okay, so I told you guys that this week was my baby shower. I had my baby shower this weekend, and it having my baby shower this weekend kind of just helped me pamper myself a little bit. I mean, I do every now and then, like with my hair, with my nails and my feet. Those are like my really main self-care factors. But when I say this week was like full of pampering myself, I went to get a few like outfits. I got my nails done, got my feet done, got my eyebrows done, got my hair done, I just felt like a whole new person. And it made me kind of, you know, ready to give birth. Like, I felt like all the things are in line right now for me to have a successful birth. Like, my hair is done, my nails are done, I'm going to look cute. This baby shower is right around the corner. This is like during the week, this is what I'm thinking. Baby shower's right around the corner, and literally when I have this baby shower, put this stuff up, baby girl can come. I'm For the first time, I'm satisfied within like this pregnancy. Like, yes, I'm satisfied with being pregnant and all of that, but I'm satisfied with knowing that I actually have the necessities that I need for my girl. Like, crib, stroller, swing, I have it all. And there's no better feeling than to feel that way. It takes a lot of stress off of me. Um, so I'm thankful. I have a lot, not even a lot. It wasn't a lot of people at my baby shower. And let me touch on that, right? I invited a lot of people to the baby shower. A good handful of people said that they were going to come. And then at the last minute started dropping out, like literally the day before. I'm not going to say coming up with excuses, but just letting me know that they're not going to be there. Cool, whatever. I'm not really too pressed about it, because I just come to a realization. I was even telling the mom who threw the baby shower for me, which is my son's best friend's mom. We're really close. I was telling her, I'm not really tripping. I think maybe like 10, 15 people showed up. Majority of them were family. My cousin came out and supported, and I loved that. Like, even though that whole side of the family didn't come, although I didn't really invite them, but it made me feel good for those who did show up for me. Who needed to be there was there. Like, that's just how I feel. The energy that I needed came from all of those who showed up for me, and I'm very appreciative. I can't say enough good things about those who showed up. My sister did so good with the cooking, as always. She made this um, Cajun chicken dip. We had fried rice, chicken, veggie and fruit trays. It was just like really, really simple, but she threw all of that together for me. I mean, I seasoned the chicken. Shout out to me. Everybody said it was good, period. But it was a good time. And I'm thankful. And I don't ever want to force anybody to do anything, because at the end of the day, I know if I want to be somewhere, I'm going to make it happen, right? I do it all the time. But I also don't want to force any type of support or anything like that, because at that point it's just like fake love, and I don't want that. I know people have like other obligations or whatever that they have to do or what have you, and I understand that. But like I said, I just feel like all those who showed up was exactly who needed to show up. And I thank you guys so much, because my baby shower was so fun. We had many laughs. The games were so cute. Like, we had this pacifier game where we hid 36 like little baby pacifiers around the house, and they had to find them, and whoever found the most pacifiers got a gift. Then we did the like what's in Ashley's belly thing, where we put a whole bunch of things, like 10 things inside of a black bag, and you stick your hand in the bag. You get 30 seconds, you feel around, and you see what you can find inside the bag. That was a really fun game. Everybody was enjoying themselves, laughing, and having a really good time, because some of the things like felt like what they were, and then some of them you were just like, girl, where the fuck did you get that answer from? And like I said, it was a great time, especially because I got to bring like all of my worlds together, like the football world, the family world, the friend world, and it meshed so well. What was another game that we played? We played the baby clip game. Um, it was a lot of games that we played, and it was just really fun. So I want to say shout out to Dawn for throwing this baby shower for me. I really, really appreciate her. I don't think she understands how much I appreciate her. She did an amazing, amazing job. Um, Shout out to everybody that came. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't want to name drop too much. Shout out to my sister Devana, like I said, for the cooking, because everything was great. I made I seasoned 2 pans of chicken. It was 15 pounds of chicken total, And I think I ended up walking out of Dawn's house with maybe 10, 15 pieces of chicken left total. So I was excited about that. We didn't have a lot of dip left, so excited about that too. It was like even the even the cleanup process was seamless. Like I stayed and I helped clean up, and then we talked and laughed a little bit. It was just a really good time. I feel very loved and I'm very appreciative because she didn't have to do it and she did. And again, I'm thankful. All right, let's switch gears real quick. So I've been doing this thing lately. I mean, it's been, I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism or just a way to protect myself from going down like a spiraling rabbit hole. But I've noticed, maybe for like the past year or so now, that if I'm talking to somebody and we're kind of getting combative with something, at some point, I'm just not going to respond back to you. I'm not going to read your message. I'm not going to listen to any type of voicemail or anything like that. I'm just going to say what I have to say and leave it at that. And then kind of check the temperature of where we're at if we meet up again, right? Um, and I think that's just to protect, in a sense, my peace, because at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with nobody, especially if you're not paying my bills, you're not dicking me down, if you're not giving me gas money. Like if you're not really contributing to nothing I have going on in my life, then I refuse to allow you to take any type of joy or anything like that from me. So I'm not about to argue with nobody. I'm not doing that. Like we can have like our tit for tat, like back and forth a little bit, whatever. But if you think I'm really about to sit here and argue with you, you can think again, because I'm not doing that. That's not in the cards. I don't have time for it. Argue with yourself, because I'm not about to argue with you about anything, especially when it comes to like what belongs to me or what I know is mine or anything like that. I'm not arguing with you, because at the end of the day, I'm not about to try and force you, make you hope that you understand where I'm coming from, because at the end of the day, either you do or you don't. And that's just that, right? I'm not too pressed on that. Um so that's just something that I've learned for myself that works for me. I will block you in mid argument. Like if I'm for texting and I'm saying something and then your response back becomes negative and I'm still seeing like you're typing, baby, I'm going to block you. I've done that so many times, and like people call me *67 with a block number and be like, "Oh, so you blocked me?" Yes, motherfucker, I blocked you, because if you think I'm about to sit here and listen to you belittle me or try to come at me in any type of way, especially if I'm not being rude to you, cursing at you, calling you out your name, or any of that, you're fucking insane if you think I'm about to allow you to do that to me. Because at that point, we're both about to be disrespectful. And what does that really solve? Nothing. So blocked. Too easy, right? I'll block your ass quick. Mm. Okay, so did you guys hear about those two different parents that unalived themselves and their children? One of them was in Vegas, and I was listening to, not even listening to, I follow Cheyenne, who's from Teen Mom, on Snapchat, and I seen that her daughter was at a cheer competition out in Vegas, right? And then I remember her posting something or saying something about like a little girl and her mom that went missing, and she hopes that they get found and they're safe and sound. And then that same night, maybe the next day, there was news that the mother unalived the daughter and then herself. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like, I don't, it's so crazy how this world goes, right? Because not even, I don't think a couple of days before or a couple of days after, there was a article going around about how this transgender, they were at a hockey game with their family, well, their ex-wife, their children and all this other stuff or whatever. They were at a hockey game. I don't remember where they're from. I want to say it was like Utah or Ohio or something like that, but I could absolutely be wrong. But as they're in the hockey game, like literally at the hockey game, this person unalives the ex wife, their child, and then themselves. And I'm literally just like, what the fuck goes through y'all's head when y'all do shit like this? Like, why have kids if this is going to be the outcome? Like, what just, and I don't ever want to, like, I don't know, talk bad too much because you never know what can happen. But, like, literally, what goes through your head when you do shit like that? Like, even with kids who unalive their parents, what goes through your head? Like, what makes you snap to the point where you're just like, oh yeah, fuck all this, and continue on with the actions that you take instead of just removing yourself from the situation, right? If you don't like the situation that you're in, why not just remove yourself? You don't have to go to that extreme. I don't get it. And I don't think I'll ever get it, but when I'm reading, like when I read those stories, I literally just I get a sense of anxiety because why did that happen? Like why did that even have to happen? And then I kind of like put myself in those shoes, like what could have made me snap to the point where I would want to do something like that, or what would make my child snap to the point that they would want to do something like that. Like why would you want to kill the person that is supposed to, and I say heavy on the supposed to because not everybody is raised or is, growing up the same way. Everybody has like a different experience, but still, like what makes a situation like that come about? Who who do you talk to if you do have like those certain type of feelings without being judged or put into a crazy house? It's just I don't know, like it's so sad to me, and I don't have words for it, but I do want to send, positive vibes and family, positive vibes and good energy to those families because I just, I couldn't imagine going through or experiencing something like that. It's scary. It's crazy. It's unimaginable, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to switch that up because I felt like that was really deep to an extent. So let's bring it back, right? I've been trying to find the best ways to timestamp my podcast so that way I can put out previews or like snippets on social medias to attract you guys in more to make you want to click on links to actually listen to the full podcast. And let's just say it's a lot harder than I thought it was, only because certain platforms have ads that go with the podcast, right? So when I'm editing the podcast and then I'm writing down a time frame that I'm liking how things are sounding and I want to use as a snippet, once I upload it to the platforms, it's not always at the same time due to ads being incorporated to the podcast. So it makes it a little hard for me, but I also, like I said, I need to find a better way to do that. That way I can have it set in stone and drop those like when the podcast is airing or before the podcast airs. So I don't know if I should take snippets from the edits or what have you, but it's just harder. It's just harder than I expected. Something that I'm going to continue to work on. Also, something that I'm going to look into. I know sometimes, like on Apple Podcasts, they have like those timestamps of what is being talked about, but I I just don't know. Maybe I should. I usually do it from YouTube because I want people to know like I'm on YouTube too, and you can follow me there and listen to the entire podcast there as well for free. But I think taking snippets from Apple Podcasts as well, especially because, like I said, they kind of timestamp those for me to an extent. It'll make things a little bit better. But if you guys have any advice on like timestamping and getting previews for a podcast, let me know, because like I said, I'm kind of like stuck there because I want to be able to promote my podcast more. I want to do like little snippet drops, like I said, to where you'll hear certain things that I'm talking about, and you want to click on the link and actually go listen to the podcast, right? So I'm just learning how to promote myself more in an efficient and effective way. I just have to really dive into it and figure it out. Um, but that also falls into me like being more confident about what I'm doing when it comes to podcasting. And I've been feeling very confident. Like even right now, I'm sitting in my bed and I'm literally, it's like I'm talking to you guys, but I feel like I have a camera in front of me, the way my hands are moving and the way like I'm really trying to explain things. But it's the confidence that it gives me. Like even when I'm doing speeches or talking to somebody, I'm noticing that I feel more confident in what I'm doing and less awkward because of the fact that I have this podcast and it's given me that platform to really do that, right? Because essentially, I'm sitting in a room by myself and I'm just talking to you guys. If anybody were to see me, they would think I was crazy because of the way that I'm moving my hands and my body as if you guys can actually see me talking to y'all. And I love that. But it's also, my confidence is also trickling down into me living my life. I see it's also being more confident is also helping me live my life right now as I see it in the future. And I am a big stickler on that a little bit. I want to be able to live how I see myself in a few years. That helps me really navigate and move as if I already have the things that I'm yearning and manifesting for, right? And I love that. Not necessarily like living within my living outside of my means or too much over what my means are, but also walking around with that confidence as if I already made it. Because once I make it, I'm going to remember how this feels, right? And I hope I explained that right. I know sometimes like I get tongue tied or really jumbled up in my words, but I don't ever want to doubt myself or live in fear because that's all you're going to get in return. So, confidence is key. My confidence is building. It feels really good. And that also kind of like trickles into me having like a set a set self schedule. Like yes, I have a work schedule that I abide by, but with me going on maternity leave for a couple months, I don't want to just sit around and kind of like let time go past or anything like that. So, what I've done was I set like a quote unquote work schedule for myself. So, right now I'm self employed, we'll say that, while I'm on maternity leave. But while I'm self employed, I literally have my day mapped out from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Those are like my work hours, and that's anywhere from promoting my podcast to taking my kids to school to um, looking up podcast topics, um, anything. I literally have like the schedule mapped out. I have it in my calendar, so like I get notifications as to when I should be doing what at what time. Now the only thing I have to do is really abide by that, right? I have to really follow the schedule that I put out for myself. That way I get accustomed to it and I don't want to fall short of anything. I have to invest in myself the same way I invest in the companies that I work for. And I just feel like that's the smartest thing that I can do for myself. All right, before I close out, we're running a little over time. I want to give you guys a little Black History fact. With Black History Month coming to an end, we have about 2 more Black History Month facts that I can throw at you guys. And here's the one for today. Isaac Murphy. Isaac Murphy is considered one of the greatest jockeys in history, period, right? He won the Kentucky Derby 3 times, 1884, 1890, and 1891. He had an estimated 44% win rate, which is incredible even to this day. He's the first jockey that was ever inducted into the National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame in 1955. Known for his intelligence, patience, and strategic riding, not just speed. So, there you go, right? Who would have known that the most predominant, proficient, amazing, because Black people are amazing, jockey was black man, Isaac Murphy. So, sprinkle that information on somebody little, sprinkle that information on somebody who just didn't know. Sprinkle the word and let it be known about Isaac Murphy. Okay? One of the greatest jockeys in history. With that being said, your girl is signing out. You can follow me on highly.talkative on Instagram, highly talkative on Facebook. I'm on all of the major platforms for podcasting. If you guys want to go listen, not even if, when you guys go listen, let's clear that up. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can also go to rss.com, search highly talkative, and look up the platform that you guys would like to listen to me on. Like, follow, subscribe, show some support. If you have any feedback, information that you want me to talk about, or anything like that, please email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com. You guys have a great week. I'll holla at y'all next week, and stay blessed, stay happy, stay loving, and don't let nobody take your joy. I'm out.